క్యామో వాయిస్ ఆడలే కదా కంప్యూటర్
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yeah. Yes, sir. It is audible, sir. We'll start, sir.
Shall I proceed, ma'am?
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we are starting the session. A very good afternoon to our respected teachers, students, and our honorable guests. Today we have gathered and come together for a guest lecture on the topic opportunities for students and faculty to become entrepreneurs by our guest Sarvan J. Sir is an innovation ambassador MIC, and Sir has a teaching experience of 8 years and is currently pursuing his PhD from NIT Warangal. Some of the achievements of Sir are IBM Certified Enterprise Design Thinking Practitioner, NIPTEL Domain Scholar in IPR Thinking, NIPTEL Domain Scholar in Faculty Advanced. Sir has also filed 5 Indian patents, out of which 2 got granted. Sir also designed and delivered University BTech elective course on startup essentials. So over to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Let me share the screen. Is the screen visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. So, in case in the midway, if it is not visible, please let me know, ma'am.
Sure, sir.
Yes, thank you. So, I hope I am clear and audible to everyone there.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am. So, I would like to know how many students are there, ma'am, currently.
Actually, in this online, there are 50, sir, but remaining are listening in the classes, sir.
I just want to know how many faculty, how many students, ma'am.
Uh, Overall faculty, 6 members, sir.
Fine, fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Students, around 120, sir.
From which background they are
B
belong?
Farm, sir.
B farm.
B Farm, sir.
Everyone is belongs.
Yes, sir. All are
Uh,
from B Farm, sir.
yes, ma'am. Let me talk to the audience, ma'am. Fine.
Okay, sir.
I hope everyone is doing well. The Telangana is kind of related to me
Audience తో మాట్లాడతాను.
through my PhD recently. I used to visit there every once in. So it's happy to all of you regarding such a session, opportunities for students and faculty for entrepreneurial ventures, right? So in this session, let me explain you two simple things. So I hope at the end of the session, you all can replicate those two things, right? So before proceeding, as ma'am introduced, this is my profile, Saravanan J from Tamil Nadu, currently pursuing. So this is the expected outcomes of this particular webinar. So at the end of the webinar, all the participants are expected to understand the emerging Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem in higher education institutes. HEI means higher education institutes. Then they are all expected to interpret the pathways of launching their own entrepreneurial ventures. So be it a faculty or a student. So at the end of this session, you would know how and all we can, start our entrepreneurial journey. So to start with, innovation pathway at HEI setup. So being a typical college student, you may have certain number of years. It may be 3-year program or 4 years program. If you are in PG domain, it may be again 2 years program or 1 year program. So whatever the program spans, you can still venture into this innovation journey with the help of this particular pathway. So this pathway existing everywhere, which means if it is there a college which is offering a degree, that that's enough. In that place itself, you can avail this pathway, which means you don't need to go to any IIT or NIT or some other institute to get into this innovation pathway. It's already there in your institute. So how it is? That's what I'm going to explain you. So in your institute, already institution innovation council is there, and through that they are supposed to organize varieties of expert sessions. So with the help of academicians, with the help of industry persons, and about different range of topics. So for example, today we are just initial introductory level of topic we are actually going on. So likewise they are supposed to organize different level of sessions in different ranges of topics. So through that IIC activities, you can get the initial awareness, and you can learning the basics in the sense what is mean by innovation, what is mean by entrepreneurship, what is the difference between innovation and entrepreneurship, what is a startup. So that and all are fundamentals. What is what in that range you can learn in this IIC activity session. Then you can develop your own immature ideas in the classroom. So how, sir? Because I am studying my my own degree subjects, how I can develop ideas? So for that, your institution has to adopt innovation and entrepreneurship related courses as electives in your programs, from in the first year or second year or in the final year, no matter. So they have to incorporate such courses in your syllabus. So while going through those courses, you can parallelly think of some new ideas. It's just like casual idea development, that's all, right? So developing immature ideas through classroom sessions in such innovation and entrepreneurship courses. Then you can experiment with your classroom ideas. Suddenly or casually, you and your friends are discussing about some ideas. So okay, I am going to start this business, that business, something like that, and you eventually gets more interested towards it and testing that idea. So testing in the sense, your idea may be about a product or a process or about a service. So any business would evolve around a product or a service. For example, water bottle. I am going to design and develop a water bottle. That's a product based idea. Service in the sense like online services, Ola, and other digital services that you can compare, in our day-to-day life. So that's and all around service-based business ideas. So when you discuss some ideas with your friends, you would go to the experimental stage. So how I can do that? So through tinkering labs at your institute. What is mean by tinkering lab, sir? So actually, tinkering lab is a one of the component under IIC. Every institute which has IIC has the facilitation for the tinkering also. So you can inquire about it in your institute. Normally, tinkering lab consists of some random basic mechanical, electrical, and electronics tools, small tools. In case of mechanical means all your mechanical, what to say, for building a machine, what are the small things you would need, all those things would be available in that tinkering lab. For example, in case of electronics means there would be some circuit board, the breadboard, wires, semiconductors, and all those small components would be available there, so that you can do something, put your hands on it, you can do something and experimenting your idea, right? So those and all are tinkering labs. So once you go for the tinkering level, then you are seriously going for a development of prototype. That prototype development where I can do, sir, again tinkering labs with the help of some external sources. So it's all depend on what kind of idea you are coming up and what kind of idea you are really experimenting with. So depending on that, the respective external sources may vary, right? Then you can participate in Smart India Hackathon or any idea based competition across the country and gaining some experience. Experience of what? Experience of trying something new and building it and demonstrating it to someone else and getting their views. Whether it's a utter failure idea or flop idea, no issues. You are gaining an experience about building a product, right? Where it can happen, again it can happen in your tinkering labs plus with the external sources plus external or internal mentors. So here it's additional, you would need some hand holding from your project guide, something like that, right? The mentor can be your any subject handling faculty or your HOD or any innovative passionate faculty in your institute. the, they can be your mentor. No, sir, I want some external mentor. No issues. You can get it from any external industries which you already know or you want to know, right? Then, okay, sir, doing all these things, it's not in the syllabus. It's not majorly available in the curriculum. So how I can get the time for doing all those things? So that is actually provided to you through NISP policy. So what is that NISP? National Innovation and Startup Policy 2019 for exclusively for higher education institutes. I hope your institute has adopted it and framed their own NISP policy for your institute. You get to know about that. Okay, sir, what is this policy is all about? For example, uh, you form some students group, 4 or 5, discussing some ideas, and you want to go out to explore something about that idea. So for doing all those things, you may leave, right? So normally taking a leave would result in attendance percentage lagging. I think it's not muted. Yes, fine. So for doing all those uh, out of campus activities, you may need some on duty leaves, or you may need some extra recognition apart from others, because not all the students are doing it. Only some 50 percentage or 60 percentage of students are dare to do it, so they should be given with some additional credits. So that and all are available in NISP. Ma'am, can you please mute those people, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. So this NISP policy is just like a backup support for the students as well as faculty to experiment themselves with the innovative ideas. So regarding the on-duty leaves or additional credits or any cash-based incentives or credit-based incentives, because nowadays everything is about credits. So how many credits you have to complete, all those things are there. So for involving in such activities, credits should be given from by your institute. So all those things are the essence of this NISP. I hope your institute has adopted it and implemented it. You please inquire about it, about how many days I can put on duty leave, so that I can involve myself with my student groups, so that to experiment some ideas. So this and all are the initial doorstep kind of opportunity for each and everyone, no matter he is a first year student or second year student or final year student, as well as the faculty also, right? Okay, sir, doing all these things is enough, sir, so that we can come up with some great ideas. No. So all these things are just pre-incubation entrepreneurial zone. So I hope you can understand now. So this is called pre-incubation, which nothing but putting yourself into the zone of dreaming and developing some ideas, discussing with your friends, teasing your ideas, getting knowledge, more knowledge about what you are going to build. All those things, casual things. This and all are not in your mandatory stuff, but this and all are happening so casually in your daily college life. So that's why it is natural pre-incubation of entrepreneurial mind. Okay, sir, how long it may span? So for a 3-year program, it should span 1 year or 1.5 years. For a 4-year program, it may span up to 2 years. Okay, sir, what after the pre-incubation? So at the end of the pre-incubation, it's all about informed decision. Until now, this and all are happening so casually, optional. If you wish, you can do it. If you don't wish, you don't need to do it, right? Because not all the people are having entrepreneurial attitude or curiosity with their mind, right? So until this, all the first year students, until they complete their 1.5 years, should be gone, right? At the end of that pre-incubation period, at least 10% of the students, what's that? At least 10% of students would really want to go for the actual incubation zone. So that potential of students have to be identified by the internal faculty members. So those 10% of students has to be taken towards the incubation zone. So that actual business incubation is that core where you are really developing one proper idea and implementing that one proper idea. So how that incubation will look like? So I hope you can able to see this, the 5 circles. So in this actual business idea incubation, the very first step is identifying market potential pain point. Second step is IP capable idea generation. Third one is arriving at MVP, minimum viable product. Fourth one is business model canvas development. Then finally fundraising. So these are all the core and the very essential 5 points which will happen in that incubation period. So once you complete 1.5 years in your college, you can go into this zone. This is purely voluntary basis, this is purely curiosity basis, and it is purely passionate, being passionate about starting the own business, right? Or you can seriously try it also. I would say, no matter you are having a strong passion for it right now, you may have it over the time, right? So it's no wrong to attempt this particular zone, right? What is the very first one? I can talk about all these 5 points in detail very seriously, but I don't want to do that. I just want to tell what is what. The first point is identifying the right pain point. What is mean by pain point? It is nothing but a problem statement. So you belong to a pharmaceutical industry domain. In your pharmaceutical industry, daily some things are happening regarding new arrival of medicines and possibilities of doing the medicines. So that and all you are keep on noting down, and you find some problematic arena so that you can really work on that zone, and you can come up with a positive solution. So that solution is your business, right? So now you can understand, it's not like starting a business means directly it's not directly coming up with some ideas. It should actually start with some problem statement. So that problem statement is the key starting point of any startup. No potential problem means no serious requirement, which means ultimately your business will fail. It's a it's a very linear equation. If something is required, people will buy your solution. If something is not required, no matter you are boasting it up, nobody will buy it, isn't it? Right? So that's what it is being mentioned. You should start with the problem statement. Second, you should come up with an idea, but nowadays not only some mere idea is okay, coming up with IP potential idea is highly encouraged. What is IP? Intellectual property. Intellectual property rights are there. Various forms of intellectual property rights are there. Patent, copyright, trademark, geographical indication, then semiconductor layout design, farmer rights, lots of things are there. So depending upon which domain you belong to, I can surely say that you are pharmaceutical. It's a process based industry, so you should go for a patent only, right? So no matter about other domains, for your domain, highly important IP is patent. So how to generate ideas for a particular problem statement? So assume that you have found out some problem statement and you want to generate some ideas. So these are all the different idea generation techniques. And with each technique, you can involve with your team members and you can brainstorm and you can come up with lots of ideas. Then finally, what you should do is, out of all the generated ideas, which is potentially IP capable, that you should find out. So how, sir, how I can understand whether my idea is patentable or not? Simple 4 point answer is, your idea should be novel, your idea should have some technical advancement, that is nothing but inventive step, your idea should be describable, right? And your idea should be industrially manufacturable, which means you may have some idea and you build some prototype, but if someone else is trying to build the same idea, the same prototype should be able to be built by them also. Can you able to understand? It's not like, sir, I made it, that's all. Hereafter, if anyone try the same procedure, the same result will not come, then it's not patentable, right? So that's what the fourth point, industrially manufacturable. So if anyone is applying the same, formula with some lot of chemicals, the same vaccine should be produced just like you produced, right? So please keep that in your mind. Third one is, once you found the problem statement and generated some IP capable ideas, then you should develop the minimum viable product, MVP. What is that MVP, sir? Why it is called minimum viable? Which means once you generate the ideas, it may be about a product or a process. So since you people are belonging to pharmaceutical, it's going to be process based ideas, because uh, it's all involving chemicals and other substances. So you may demonstrate some step by step procedure. Sir, if you add the chemical A with B, C, and these are the proportions, this is my final medicine, sir, and this will cure this particular disease or this particular injury, sir. Like that, you are proposing. So, this idea should be converted into minimum viable format, which means that chemical A should be available in a particular form, chemical B should be available with you, and you are mixing chemical A and chemical B with some instrument. That instrument should be available, right? So it's not like accidentally I mixed chemical C and D and it resulted in some positive result, but I don't know how to mix the chemical C and D. You should not tell, right? So that's what viable product is all about. You should be able to demonstrate in front of others, n number of people. right? Is it audible, ma'am? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yes, yes. Uh, yes. So once you develop the minimum viable product, now hereafter it's a business perspective. So far it is about a technological perspective, idea, problem statement, idea generation, and product building and all, right? So hereafter it's about business, how to sell your product. So that's what starting with business model canvas. So I'm not going to explain this. A business model canvas is just like a sheet. 9 segments will be there. If you count, you can understand 9 boxes are there. In each box, one particular element will be there. Under each element, number of questions would be there. You should be able to answer each and every question in each and every 9 segments. Once you complete it, you can understand that your product is really marketable. In case if you are not able to fill even any one box out of it, then you can understand that your product is not marketable, or you don't know how to market it either, right? So for selling your product, you should be able to complete this business model canvas, right? So this business model canvas, these 9 elements, is universal. In any country across the world, people are using the same chart, same questions, same kind of segments, but how they answer is going to differentiate them from their competitors, right? So you can google about business model canvas of Sony television, Apple iPhone, Samsung Galaxy, about all any product you want to know. You can put it in Google, business model canvas of that particular brand. You will see the result in this same 9 box chart, so that you can understand how they are marketing their own product, right? So that you can comparatively understand about the marketable potential of your own product, right? So okay, sir, I have developed the business model canvas also, so now you can understand. So coming up with some entrepreneurial ideas is not an one man show. You should understand it, because from the segment itself you can understand, sir, this and all are concepts of management, sir. How would I know all this, sir? And I don't know, and I don't have time for learning all these also, sir. So that only what people are suggesting, when you want to going for a startup idea, you first formulate a team. The team should having the members who can compete with each other, which means what to say, complement with each other, which means the person A can do one job, person B can do some other job, person C is meant for doing the some other job. Not all the people are doing the same way, right? Same thing. So that's how you should form a team. And interdisciplinary team is highly encouraged, which means you may belong to pharmaceutical, you can tie up with some biomedical engineers, and you can form a team with biotechnology engineers, and you can form up with some chemical engineers, right? So that will add more plus towards your team building and product outcome, right? So once you develop the business model canvas, you should go for the fund, right? Okay, sir, fund will be required at the end of the stage only, yes, sir. No. For doing all these things, you may need the fund. But for the presentation sake, I am putting it in the last. So how I can generate the fund, sir? Because this particular point is the hurdle point for any number of any nature of startups. People may have ideas. People can generate wonderful ideas by simply discussing in a tea shop, right? But they are not executing it. Why? Why? The major reason is the fund. But I am telling you right now, enough fund is readily available under various schemes in India. We are not aware about it. That's the actual fact. You may ask, sir, even 1 rupee I want to spend, sir. Yes, you don't need to spend even 1 rupee. All sort of schemes are there in India to support entrepreneurial ventures from higher education institutes. That's why this particular session and all is throwing at you as a student. You may think, hey, I am a student, why you are talking about business to me? Let me complete my degree. Thereafter, I may think about the business. No, now the trend is totally changed. You can do things in your program duration itself. That's what the NISP states. NISP wants all the students and faculty to go for the entrepreneurial idea experimentation. So if some 100 people or 100 teams are trying some entrepreneurial ideas, at least some 10 teams would come with the final product. Out of those 10 teams, some 5 teams would become a unicorn, which means turnover 100 million turnover in a year, right? So you think about the population of higher education students in India, it's in crores, right? So we can easily develop, number of unicorns in every year, but lack of awareness matters. So that's what this and all IIC is being set up, and all those things are being happening, and people are not understanding their worth also, which means you may think about your own degree, B Farm. I don't know how many of you are really know about the money making potential of your domain, money making potential, because everybody is going to look for a job after the degree, because the job gives you money, money gives you life. That's all, right? So for that only we are doing all those things. But by trying such entrepreneurial ventures, you can make more money than any campus placements. That's the actual fact. But not all the people are dare enough to try into that direction. So we are doing that pushing activity, right? You go and try. That's what I am also doing right now. So finally, I am showing you the various uh, funding schemes available in India under various government and non-government bodies. Sorry for the letter size. I have shared the this file to your ma'am. You can get it from her and go through all the schemes, right? So depending upon what stage, sir, just now I have started my idea development stage, sir. You told no, sir, I found out some problem statement. Now I am in idea development stage, sir. I need some money, sir, where I can get. So under all these schemes, various zones are there where you can apply for ideation stage. For simple example, I would highlight about DST Nidhi Prayas. This, under DST Nidhi Prayas. Nidhi Prayas is for prototype development. You may wonder, they would ready to offer you maximum of 10 lakhs. Maximum of 10 lakhs. Not every applicant will get the 10 lakhs. Maximum of 10 lakh. For what, sir? For just converting your idea into prototype. Very, very earlier attempt. They are not giving it for as a loan or something. It's a grant, which means you don't need to repay it, right? So that's what the Nidhi Prayas is all about. By getting such money, you can try up your idea, conversion. So whether it's really working as a product. Just a minute. Yes. Sign வேணுமா? இதே மாதிரி வேணுமா? Just a minute, ma'am. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it is audible.
Yes, fine. So DST Nidhi Prayas is just one among the various schemes. So you have MSME innovation scheme. I hope in your institute, MSME host institute recognition is there. I think in the brochure they have mentioned it. So they are, MSME has recently launched it couple of years back. They started funding for, such innovative ideas. for a startup exclusively from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So it's it's a great opportunity for for all of you that your own institute has such a facility. So they are funding for maximum of 15 lakhs per idea. Can someone mute it?
మ్యామ్ వచ్చారు మ్యామ్. అదే
Can someone mute it, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please mute it, ma'am. Ma'am, it's audible, ma'am. Can you please mute it?
Sir,
Please, ma'am.
the disturbance from is not from our side, sir.
No, I am all alone in the lab. There's no one around me.
Okay, sir.
అలా క్లబ్జీగా ఉంటేనే కనపడదు. అమ్మా ఇగో చంద్రిక జస్ట్ 2 స్టెప్స్ బ్యాక్ రండి. బాయ్స్ అటు వెళ్ళండి. న్యూసెన్స్ స్పేస్ ఇప్పుడు కనిపిస్తుందా లేదా?
Speaking in
కనిపిస్తుందా లేదా
Telugu.
ఇప్పుడు?
Here I am in Tamil Nadu.
కనిపిస్తుందా లేదా?
Here.
ఇందాక కొంచెమన్నా మీరు పడిపోవడం, ఒక స్టెప్ ఎదురుగా తీసుకొని ఇంకా కంఫర్ట్గా అనిపిస్తుంది.
Ma'am, you cannot able to hear it. Not able to continue.
ఐటీలో ముందు పంపించండి అని.
Sir, sorry for the inconvenience. Can you wait for a minute, sir?
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
అమ్మా ఎల్లు ముందు మీరు ఇంకో బ్యాగ్ జరగండి. మీరు కొంచెం వెనక జరగండి. అరే బాబు అటు జరుగురా బాబు, ఇంకా దూరం ఉండు. వెళ్ళమ్మా అక్కడికి వెళ్ళి మీరు ఇక్కడ మీరు జరగండి. ఇంటికి మీరు 2 స్టెప్స్ బ్యాగ్ జరగండి. కనిపిస్తుంది ఇట్లే సరే. నేను కరెక్షన్ చేస్తున్నా అయిపోయింది. నేను వచ్చింది అవునా?
Yes, I think it is muted. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. You can go on with the session, sir.
Yes, fine. So as you see, these are all the different schemes. As I mentioned, MSME has launched the innovation scheme couple of years back, and they are offering maximum of 15 lakhs for each idea. So again, this is for idea to prototype development, and the highlight of MSME is they are continuously supporting your idea. Once you develop from the idea to prototype, they are further ready to support from prototype to design and patenting, and finally patenting to the commercialization also they are supporting. So in your institute also there is a recognition, I think. So please make use of it. And right now MSME idea hackathon 3.0 is on live, so which is exclusively for women candidate. So only women candidate can submit ideas. And across the country people are not knowing it actually. That's the very bad fact about it. So it's fortunate for me to tell you this. If you know it already, that's good. Please don't miss this opportunity. That's what I want to say. Why? Because MSME is focusing on tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and they want to encourage enormous ideas. So they are having huge funding from the central government. So possibility of getting the funding is more. And exclusively this time for women candidate, your possibility of getting the funding is highly increased, because of the exclusiveness. So please, I advise all the women candidate go for idea submission. One person can submit maximum of 10 ideas, right? Maximum of 15 lakhs they would give for the selected ideas to convert into the prototype. So, right? So please think about it. The last date is August 15th or 17th, I think. So please get consulted with your faculty. So similarly, state governments are also having lot of schemes. In our Tamil Nadu, there is a innovation voucher program, and I would like to say Telangana is doing wonderful regarding the innovation related schemes. And as a state government, Tamil Nadu is actually following the footsteps of Telangana. I would be very happy to say this, because I can understand that the chief ministers of both countries are not having much egoistic mentality, but encouraging each other's ideas, right? So whatever the innovation related schemes are there in Telangana is being followed and implemented in Tamil Nadu. And what is the existing best practice in Tamil Nadu is being followed by Telangana state, you know so you please inquire about your state's schemes there, and please try to make use of it for the funding. And banks are also providing the funding. Everybody knows they would give it for the loan. So here you should understand the funding is available in two forms. One as a loan, which means you have to repay it. Sir, why, sir? Why I should buy some 15 lakhs and I have to repay? No, sir, no idea, sir. Another form of funding is grant, which means it's like a prize money. So you can get it and you can test your ideas. You don't need to repay it, right? And even if you fail, nobody will ask you, right? You can try your ideas with all these fundings, right? So that's why I'm telling, don't miss this opportunity, because B Farm is actually the happening department exclusively after the COVID. I hope everybody knows. B Farm pharmacy industry is booming like anything after the COVID, and coming up with newer medical facilitation systems via tablets, medicines or syrups, or lot of things are happening with pharmaceutical. So please get to know about all those things. And finally, I can say incubators are there, accelerators are there. Through those incubators, idea can be incubated, and all the points that I have shared so far will be guided by the expert members in such incubators across India. We can say 10,000 to 15,000 number of incubators are there. Incubators in the sense technological business incubators, idea or business incubators. Under MSME scheme, your college is also one of the incubator, right? So through them we can get funded, and we can get expert support, and we can develop lot of network. We can present our own idea to different people, and we can accumulate the funding. That's right. So these are all the different funding opportunities. Okay, fine. So far what we have discussed is these 5 points in the actual business incubation. starting with the market potential identification, coming up with the patentable idea, then building your product and developing the minimum viable product, the version 0, right? We can say version 0. Once you launch the product, people will tell you different opinions, different feedbacks, and you would understand based on the competitors, you would understand some improvements, and you would launch eventually version 1.0, 2.0, something like that. So MVP is building the very least possible version of your product, whether it's a process or a product, right? Then business model canvas, then finally how we can get the funding for doing all these things. So this is the ultimate entrepreneurial opportunity map for any higher education institute stakeholder, be it a student or a faculty. So natural pre-incubation zone first year and half of the second year, right? Then once the pre-incubation zone is successfully processed to all the students and faculty, then their actual incubation zone gets started in the mid of the second year and completes at the end of the degree program, be it a third year or in a fourth year. So at the end of the fourth year, you can launch your product into the market. So once you graduate, you will be a CEO or a founder of your own product in the market. Then further, you can scale up your ideas based on the initial research, further potential possibilities, right? So this is the entire journey map. So we can understand all these things better with an example. Someone somewhere tried the same thing and achieved it bigger. So by seeing it, we all can understand. We are also can able to do it. Startups or entrepreneurs are not only emerging from IITs and some big universities. Any institution in India can generate a unicorn startup, right? So such an example, there is a student in IIT Bombay who was doing Master of Design, and he visited a local government hospital, right? So for his project idea, sir, I need to develop some idea. So I visited. He chose the hospital background, and he visited the local clinic. It's not a city; it was some random village primary clinic, right? So he was keep on visiting that clinic for first 1 week thoroughly. Morning 8 o'clock, he would go there. He would sit and observe and note down what is happening there, day to day activities in a primary clinic. After a week of continuous visit, he comes back to his department and explained his idea. What he explained, sir, during my visit, I found there is a simple problem exist in the primary clinic, and I want to solve that problem. So what is that problem? People are often undergoing pain while subjecting them for a vein injection. I hope everybody knows what is vein injection, as it is difficult to find the vein, right? So I hope every one of you would be at least experiencing 1 or 2 times in your life vein injection, and people would normally struggle to identify the vein in your hand, whether it is in the elbow joint or in the wrist joint, right? So they would find it difficult, and somehow after picking up 1 or 2 wrong spots, they find it right at the third attempt, right? And the same thing is highly difficult for a fat people, right? And dark skinned people, because the vein would be normally exclusively highlighted in fair skinned people, but hardly difficult to find it with the dark skinned people. So this particular portion, I find it as a problem, sir. So I want to overcome this problem, that student told to the department. And after that, he continuously involved himself with interviewing and surveying the clinic workers and the patients who are visiting the clinic. So out of his survey, he found out of 100 persons who give blood, 16 persons need to get multiple pricks. So they are actually going to donate the blood, but they are, keep on getting punctured by the, needle more than multiple times. So that's what he found out. And exclusively for in children category, 2.35 attempts are made for every puncture as average. So which means nobody is, undergoing the vein injection properly in the very first attempt. So there is more than one attempt is happening. So I am going to solve that problem that the student told. For that, he, as I mentioned, he continuously involved surveying and interviewing the users, because you should understand he is going to provide some solution, and that solution is going to be used by the potential users. Who is the users? The patients, the clinic supervisors, the doctors, nurses. So among all those potential users, he conducted the interviews and grabbed the details, right? Based on that, he, brainstormed with his friends, and he came up with some ideas. So he experimented that ideas with the drawings first. So he wanted to build a vein tracer. So with my device, I can, if I switch on my device, the vein will be highlighted. So the vein which is inside our body will be highlighted. That's what he wanted to build. So for that, he drawn different prototype ideas, and he kept on, prototyping with the CAD models and 3D printings. And eventually he tried with some mock-up models, which means duplicate models with the real users, how it is easy to use that device. Like that, he was keep on trying, and based on the each and every trial and error result, he refined his model and built some prototype like this. And it's eventually had some, motherboard, circuit, LED lights, and some battery connection, right? Because onto the dark skinned people's hand, we have to force some light. Because of that light, the vein is going to get highlighted separately. That's the core idea, right? So if any light, if it is passing on our body, the vein will be highlighted, no. So we have to pass on infrared rays, right? Then only the internal part of our, skin will be highlighted. So that was the idea. And he was keep on, prototyping with some thermocol and plastic based models. And eventually he designed the final form of the product. And the respective circuit have been designed separately. And this is the idea. I hope you can understand it now. So that clip kind of device is being put up on the hand, and the switch is turned on, and the infrared rays are being passed on into the hand. And because of that infrared rays, the vein is getting highlighted. Now it is, easy to take it in the very first attempt, right? You may think, sir, is that a big problem, sir, to solve with this much of effort? Yes, not only for the adults. Think about the infants, the newborn kids, especially with the help of incubators. Incubators means, in medical terms, it's a premature baby supporting system, right? So not all the babies are, getting delivered with the full 10 months period, right? Somebody, coming earlier, somebody, coming so late. And exclusively in some cases, the premature delivery happens in 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, and all. So those babies are not having the enough, nutrients that they should have. So incubator. Into that incubator, how nutrients will be supplied to those small kids? Through vein injection only. Now you think about, if normally it takes more than 2 attempts to identify the vein, how about the newborn infants? So they are so tiny, they are so little, right? Within that, they have to find the vein, means it's highly difficult job, and obviously they are taking multiple pricks. Now the pain is for the babies. So now the problem is actually the bigger in size. So this particular device seems very, very important, right? So likewise, he kept on, doing things for the final product assembly, and this is and he tested it with the actual nurses and the patients, whether it is comfortable for using it, because ergonomics really matters. Ergonomics means how your product is interact with the users. The physical features matters more, right? So that's what he was checking, and this is the final form. So simple, right? So you don't need to clip anything, you can simply put it on the hand, and you can hold it in your usual one hand, and press it, the lights will be turned on, and it will highlight the vein, and you can inject it, right? Same way, the newborn kids can be fitted with such modified vein tracer in such a way, so that the infrared, because you should understand here, the intensity of infrared rays should be controllable, because that is there is a bearable limit for every age group of infrared rays. So for zero age, it should be at most minimum, but at the same time it should highlight the vein. So it's a highly controllable electronic circuit he designed, and this is what he achieved, right? So what is the achievement of this product, sir? Actually, this product costs around $15,000, which has to be imported from the European markets before this invention, right? But this guy from IIT Bombay understood the demand or need of such a product in low cost. So he redefined the product and he made it available for simple 1,500 rupees. And he is one of the very, very successful startup founder, came out of IIT Bombay, right? So this is how a successful innovation would look like. So it's not like doing bigger things or never seen before things. No, you are just going to understand the existing problem which is not noticed or which is not solved before, and you are solving it with highly efficient ideas and your product, right? So same way, in your medical term, pharmaceutical term, you can get multiple number of examples, and this is one among them. I hope this session conveyed something useful to all of you, and these are my entire references for all the text and images that I used. Thank you, everyone. Is it audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir.
I have completed my presentation, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. I will ask a question, sir, if anyone is asking.
Yes, please.
Students, any questions? I think no questions, sir, from student side.
Yes, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. I would like to request everyone to turn on the camera so that I can take a screenshot for my record preparation, report preparation.
Okay, okay, sir. Students,
I request everyone to turn on the camera so that I can take the screenshot.
I request everyone to switch on your cameras, please.
Just for a moment. Please wait. Let others do the same. I think those two are the organizers, right?
Sir is waiting. Can anyone please switch on the camera?
Those who are listening in a group, you can come together, ma. Sam,
Sir, actually, we are having some technical issue due to heavy rains.
No issues, ma'am. No issues, ma'am. Enough, ma'am. Enough, ma'am. That's enough. We can wind up, ma'am. We can wind up.
thank you so much, sir.
May